The Cherry MX Brown meme has gone on too long. We love them as the best typing switch. We hated them because they were cherries and scratchy. And then we found out breaking them in makes them sound pretty good. But they honestly take a lot of work, and I wouldn't ask that of anyone. The Blueberry Chiffon is the modern response to the light tactile switches. In my head, I can think of navies as light tactile, Cherry MX Browns, Ergo Clears. Honestly, vintage Ergo Clears is pretty sweet. Are the Blueberry Chiffons a good alternative to Cherry MX Browns? Let's go. This showcase is sponsored by novelkeys, but my opinion is always my own. Look, I'm not the type of guy to care about the looks of switches. It all sits under keycaps anyway, but for people who are OCD about matching everything, these switches feature a white top, light blue bottom, and a dark blue stem. It's dust proof, whatever that means. As you can tell from the black lighting on my desk, I'm a very clean man. You just swapped them out before the stream. As for your materials, it's a typical PC top, nylon bottom, long PP palm stem. Nothing is game changing in that department. The real highlight point of these switches is that they're manufactured by Athlon, and Athlon is very thorough and consistent in their lube application. It's going to put my switch luber out of a job. We already know that novelkeys pre-lubed options are unmatched since I consistently use factory lubed matcha lattes in my builds. When I get bored, I just throw in matcha lattes. And these Blueberry Chiffons are right up there with them. We opened these up on stream to check them out, and the lube application is very thin and consistent, exactly what you want for your switches. The surprising thing is that the factory managed to stop the lubing right before the legs of the stems, preserving the tactile bump of the switch. As you remember, when you lube a linear, you lube everything. With a tactile, you want to avoid lubing the tactile bump so that it can retain the bump, especially with a light tactile, because if you lube the leg of a light tactile, you basically make a linear, which is kind of the joke with lubing MX Browns. I normally can't trust factories to do this, so I have to do it myself. And when they do it right and I don't have to do it, these switches are supposed to be inspired by MX Browns, and while it's obviously not exactly the same, I can kind of see it. Because of the PC top and long pole stem, it's just going to be a little bit deeper than typical clacky MX Browns. Typically nylon top makes things deeper, but the cherry blend of nylon is a little bit clackier. It's weird. It's their special formula. The dust-proof stem makes the sound a bit quieter, I'm guessing because it kind of blocks sound leakage. I'm making stuff up at this point. But even though it's a long box stem, it's not that loud. It's actually quite tolerable to my ears. I know it's kind of a meme that's dust-proof, but I think it's just a design choice rather than an actual feature. MX Browns also suffer from scratch, and that's not a problem here. Athlon, like other modern switches, are smooth, plain and simple. And I like the fact that it's a light tactile bump. I may be lifting 500 pounds consistently, but honestly, my fingers feel good when it's a light bump. Big bumps get really tiring for full day use. In terms of leaf ping, which is what you should be concerned about for any tactile, I will have to say, as a general disclaimer, my factory lube chiffons are perfect. They do not have any leaf ping. But there are some people in my Discord that have reported that a couple of their switches have leaf ping. If that's something that you're worried about experiencing, you can buy these switches unlubed from novelkeys and lube behind the leaf to eliminate any chances of leaf ping. That's what I did with my MX Browns. At the end of the day, I do fawn over light tactiles. As a linear lover, I don't want to go too far off the deep end, going from a linear like a Gatorade Ink to a big boy like the W4T. So light tactiles like MX Browns, like these Blueberry Chiffons, and other switches such as vintage Cherry Ergo Clears, they're really, really nice to my hands. Some of those switches like vintage MX Browns and vintage Ergo Clears, they're a waste of time and money, so don't worry about that. But for everyone else, the Blueberry Chiffon switches are what I expect out of a modern light tactile switch. They're very good factory lubed and ready to go for most people. Right now, they're having a 25% off until the end of November, so it's a great time to try the Athlon switches if you haven't tried them before, and if you want a light tactile, Blueberry Chiffons are great. That's all for me today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.